Namaste, you guys. I'm Jeni Ji. Thanks for tuning into my channel. Make sure you subscribe to my channel to get new content and videos and so on. In that corner, there's a little red little notification there. So I'm going to talk about this week's cosmic vibes, like what could be happening, what is coming, how we can utilize this energy, how we can work through it, what to expect, and so on. This is going to be a shaky week, as I call it. There's going to be goodbyes. So some of you have seen certain signs with people, if it's your job, if it's your animals, if it's with friendships, if it's with certain people, especially that I should call that person, or maybe I better check up on that person, or I have this kind of funny feeling. We have the super new moon, and whenever it's a super new moon, the super duper, as I call it, brings double the trouble, or it can bring double the pleasure, right? It really depends what's going on in your life, where your cycle is at, and so on. And that's why I read into your energy to see where you're at, what's coming, and how you can utilize it to the fullest with my insights. Okay, so I just want you guys to be in awareness, because goodbyes are painful. Nobody likes to say goodbye. However, it's really important to take a look back and see what time you've shared with that person, with that situation, with your animal, with if it's a job you're leaving, if you're like leaving the country, if it's going to be something big and only you know and can feel and have sensed and have especially seen the signs of, geez, you know what, I have to make that decision. So really tune in and listen to what your soul is saying to you, and don't be hard on yourself whenever you're making these important changes. Okay, it's never easy. I have to do something myself, and it's not going to be easy. It's going to break my heart. So we're not going to talk about that right now. So now the 3rd and the 4th of February, we have different areas of our body that we're more sensitive in. So this is why certain days you guys could be feeling a little off. And we have the intensity of these solar flares. And with these solar flares, it can throw your whole body out of alignment. You might be thinking, wow, I'm feeling like really sick. I'm really tired, or my skin's itchy, or wow, why am I like feeling this way? A lot of times it's the solar flares, but of course, always get yourself looked after, get yourself checked out, and really pay attention to your bodies. Our animals get affected as well during this time, and really, really important to drink more water, because the 3rd or so, you could have your genital areas and so on in your prostate, being a little bit more sensitive. So the 4th, and between the 4th and the 6th, it could be your thighs, it could be your liver and your hips, and so on. Do some gentle stretches and so on. Like I've just recently gotten back into, doing some really, really gentle yoga myself. We get those certain signs when we need to start making changes, of course, right? And it's like, if you're feeling pulled, and you will this week, to make these certain changes, this is a year of discipline. This is a year of thinking about you, what's right for you. This is the universal 8 year. It brings in a lot of empowerment. It brings in a lot of manifesting very quickly. So you might even find that the 3rd and the 4th of February, you're making these big decisions. You could be saying goodbye to that person that day. You could be saying goodbye to your animal that day. You could be saying goodbye to your job, your friendships. Maybe you're moving away. Maybe you're just, whatever it is. You could also be ending toxic, like habits and so on like that, right? Like, certain addictions as it is. And that can be very, very hard to process, because addictions, of course, can be, caused and created by a lot of different traumas in your life and so on. And it immediately affects your nervous system. So it's really important to start, like even moving your body around a lot more and such like that, right? It can stay stuck in your spine area with your nervous system and such like that. So just really, really pay attention to what area you need to move your body around. And so you might even find that you're decluttering more of your mind. You might be like decluttering your home area, your office area, if it's your vehicle, right? I know some people, I'll look in a car and I'm like, oh my God, it looks like a huge garbage can. There's crap literally all over. You need to start decluttering, because when it's too over cluttered, that's where your mind is. So even if we have certain things, it's like, let's open that passageway, right? For that path to open up, not falling over everything and such like that, right? Like I'm all packed up again, right? But I'm not falling over boxes. I have like open ways, as I call it. The boxes are all lined up, so I'm not going to fall over them, right? So as you're making these emotional decisions, you might even find on the 7th and the 8th, your backbone might be like, wow, like your knees and your joint areas in your body could be a lot more sensitive as well. And this is also a year of more accidents, accident prones if you're driving, and especially within yourself. So whenever we're working out, doesn't matter if you're a pro athlete or if you're just starting something brand new, make sure that you're doing the pre-stretches and the after stretches, as I call it. There could be more sprains, breakages, right? I'm just saying, be really, really gentle on yourself. Even around the 9th and the 10th, it could be your calf area, and you're going to be like, wow, or you could twist your ankle, because the ankle energy is very much prominent around that time with your shins as well. So really, really pay attention to what is going on. The 5th and the 6th of February, it could be a very, very emotional day as well, carried forth with certain goodbyes you've had to do. And you might want to take that time out for you, that day out for you, letting go and so on. Whenever we're letting go and taking time out, you might all of a sudden start hearing your soul speak to you, your guides speaking to you, your inner GPS speaking to you, your inner guru speaking to you. So whenever you're starting to hear and sense or getting pulled or drawn to certain things you want to change, you want to work on, or start doing that. Start writing it down. You might not know the way as of yet, or what direction to go or anything. That doesn't matter. Start writing it down, because on the 7th and 8th, that very well would where you could be like, okay, I'm starting my project. Certain creative projects that we've been putting on hold for quite some time, you might even get pulled on the 7th and the 8th to start those creative projects again, like go over them, resolve them, revamp them, refix them, and we're also resolving certain karmic situations and patterns and so on. February is going to be, a leap year. We got the 29th of February as well. So for anybody who celebrates a birthday on the 29th of February, let me know. Let me know if you're a leap year baby. One of my favorite movies is called Leap Year. Actually, it was in Ireland. So I'm getting drawn to go back there as well. Right. So really pay attention, and really follow what you're really, really passionate about as well. It's really, really, really important, right? Because your sleep is going to be on and off, especially during the super new moon in Aquarius on the 9th and 10th, which is also a master number day as well. Your emotions are going to be really high. You very well could get drawn to go by the water. You're going to be healing as well for some of you that had to say goodbyes, or you're like, you know what? I'm sensing and I'm seeing that this person or my animal or a relationship or whatever it is, I have to end that. It's ending. I can see it. I can feel it. Pay attention to that. Pay attention to that. You all know who I'm talking about and certain things and such like that. And try not to have any surgeries that day if possible. Sometimes, of course, surgeries are surgeries. We have to go with it, right? And watch your calves and your shin area that well. Your muscles could be a little bit sore. Your thyroid could be a little bit off, right? You know, different moon times affects the body and so on like that. Be really, really careful, really careful. Let me know what's going on for you guys. Like, what have you, what has ended in your life? There could be deaths coming during the new moon time. It's a big time for, like people to pass on, especially our animals. We get those pre-signs as I'm talking about right now. It's like kind of prepare yourself because you kind of have that, you know what? I can sense that there's going to be change, especially when you see 555. That's a sign of changes coming, like life changes, and life changes can be really, really good, right? For every closed door, there's new beginnings. For every death, there's a rebirth coming, right? I get a lot of messages more around from the animal kingdom around this time. I've been getting slammed with messages from my McTavish and Nikita, my other animals who have passed on very much with something. So really pay attention and be open to the messages that your soul wants you to see and feel. I'm just saying, right? Keep your heart open. Please don't ever take anyone or anything for granted. Show love and kindness to yourself and others always, always, right? This is a month of love. We have Valentine's Day coming up for those of you who celebrate Valentine's, or if you have someone special to spend Valentine's with, right? Sometimes I'll buy myself some chocolates on Valentine's. I don't need chocolates, but I'm just saying, do not take chocolates away from a woman. So do your own thing, but that's a separate video. We'll talk about that a little later, right? So let's talk to what the energy of the universe has to say for us. Okay, so now I'm going to use some cards, but whenever somebody books a reading with me, I do not use cards because I'm a psychic clairvoyant medium. And I also do your past life akashic records, which is really, really important because it gives you that understanding of why, you have met certain people, how you can work through your twin flame and soulmate, why you're born into certain families, how to resolve karmic ties and clear it so you can move on more peacefully, which is very, very important. I'm also an animal communicator. I literally get slammed nonstop with a lot of messages. I've been going into a lot of deep trances with the animals lately. So they're very, very, very much around me, very much so. So let's ask the cards collectively what the message is from the 3rd to the 10th of February. Like, we're already in February. Like, oh my goodness, right? So now make sure that whenever you guys are using any cards, declare them 3 times on wood. I've already cleared my decks before I even started. So let's ask, what is the message from our animal kingdom? And animal kingdom for me, I call, if it's a sea world, if it's a bird, if it's a giraffe, if it's an ant. Animals are animals, all souls. Wow. So let's see what the animals want to hear, want to say. I'm actually getting a message from an animal right now. Wow. So as I shuffle, I allow the cards to flow and whatever falls out. And beautiful cows. This message is for cows, it's from the cow. Give with unconditional love and grace. Archangels Raphael and Mary will be with you. Cows are a very sacred animal. That's why you see down in, like India and the Hindu tradition and such like that, cows are very sacred. And, some of us hold animals as very sacred where some of us don't, right? I hold all animals in my heart and in my soul with pure unconditional love and very grateful for their messages and such like that. And give with unconditional love and grace. Okay, so this is also giving to yourself and showing yourself unconditional love And of course, other people. You're going to be hearing of a lot of passings this week. So please show love and support and compassion to others. It's not easy. The person could have 100 people in their family, or they could be by themselves. Still show love and support. You really don't know what that person goes through. I really don't show a lot of my emotions. It depends who it is with. I hold back a lot, right? So asking the land of the crystals. And also too, on the new moon, make sure you put your crystals outside so they can, get rejuvenated, as I call it, re-energized from the energy of the moon. Very, very powerful time. Your sleep's going to be off as well. Some nights, all of a sudden, you could wake up and you're like, why did I wake up? Why am I not going back to sleep? It happens. Really pay attention to those messages. I've had an hour and a half sleep myself right now, right? But I still have a lot of energy and such like that. But I'm getting a lot of messages coming through with something I've had to deal with recently. So be grateful, you guys. Be grateful. Always show gratitude with your journey. When you're letting somebody go, thank them for the time you have shared with them. Love is eternal. They're with you always. So let's ask our crystal world. What is a crystal that is chatting to us and with us for the 3rd to the 10th of February? What is the message from the crystals? Malachite. It's time to transform. Transformation. A transformation of self-discovery. We're always on when we're open. When we are open to surrender and receive what messages that our soul is wanting to share with us. Green is from the heart center as well, and green is also for healing. So you might get called and pulled towards the color green. There's different colors and vibrations and sounds and frequencies for every color. So if you wake up in the morning, let's say, and you're like, I'm just really drawn to wear the color red or the color pink or green or blue or whatever it is, really pay attention to that, because that's your energy. And your energy is like, I'm more drawn to this color. Like, if you're like, gee, I really want to wear gray. Gray is for protection. So you might be going through something where, I just feel like I just want a lot more protection around myself for some reason. Maybe you're going to have an argument with someone, right? So there's different energies and sounds and frequencies for all of that. So let's ask, what is the energy and the message from the universe? Because you're also going to be going through healings this week as well, especially around that super new moon. Really pay attention. Set your intentions. You might very well get drawn to the water as well. If you can go by the water, if it's a lake or ocean, or even if it's a creek, somebody might not live where there's an ocean by them or a lake. Even if there's a little creek or something like that, or a little river. Water represents our emotions. And empaths get really drawn to water, right? It's very healing, and there's a lot of messages in water. So what is the message collectively from the 3rd to the 10th? No, I didn't feel those. 3rd to the 10th. 3rd to the 10th. Message from the spirit world, the universe. 3rd to the 10th. 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 Right away. Self-love. It's very important we show self-love for us. And self-love could be going like treating yourself to a spa, having a long bubble bath, go for a walk in nature, turn your phone off. If you're getting all of these demands from, friends or family or work and such like that, just try to prioritize what needs to be done Like sometimes I'll turn my phone off, or, I'll be like, I don't feel like talking right now. I just need some time for me, or I'll go out and do photography, or I'll always sit back and watch a movie or something. Like whatever it is, you have to take time for you. Like how many of you take time for you? How many of you guys do that? You will start to see and actually hear more messages coming through as well whenever you start prioritizing yourself. You start focusing on yourself. Start writing down what you'd like to do or what you'd like to change. Like on your vision board, I talk about that, been talking about vision boards forever, for many years. So start writing certain things down, what you'd really like to do or change. Maybe you just want to spend more time in silence. Silence, you start hearing more messages coming through. Start writing them down. Like I get showing different dates and times and months and certain things like that. And I write it down. And I was even having a vision the other day with something that spirit was showing me. And I'm like, oh, thank you, spirit. And I wrote it down. I mean, I'm not saying that's going to happen, but a lot of times it does, right? I don't attach to it. I just write it down and like, okay, for some reason I'm hearing this date or this time or whatever it is, write it down, right? So self-love, taking time out for you, take some time out for you, and really pay attention to numbers, because your numbers are going to be shown to you a lot from your angelic team. Like I literally got woken up at 2 a.m., with my little dog Bella having a seizure in her sleep and so on, and I helped her through that situation. And I turned around, and I saw this light coming in my bedroom, and it looked like the Holy Spirit, and I felt this presence. And I didn't go back to sleep. I didn't go back to sleep. I was really worried and concerned about her. And and time goes on, and I'm like, should I just get up? Right. And I looked at the clock, and it was 3:33, ascent 3:33 a.m. Message from my ascended masters and angelic team: you're protected and you're loved, right? So you have to really pay attention to your signs. We all get signs when we're open to receive, when we're ready, spirit. Please give me some confirmations. Please show me I'm open to receive what messages I really need to hear and see, no matter how painful it is. So those of you who know my dog Bella, there's not been one full day that's been good. He was born into many reasons here, but I'm not going to talk about it. I'll get all teary-eyed. So let's ask our cards. And also, you guys, if you're watching this video is for you. Please make sure you like the video. It really helps my channel to build my channel and so on. People say, it should be monetized. Yeah, I'm over 1,000 subscribers, but there has to be so many views as well per video or whatever like that, right? So I'm not there yet. I'm working on it. So we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. I might take a break from it as well. So let's ask the spirit world from the 3rd to the 10th of February what its messages are. What's the message from the spirit? The message from the spirit world. What's the message from the spirit world? I tell you, when spirit wants to talk to me, it really starts talking to me. I'm just saying, right? So now you're going to find here with such a beautiful setting, and how cool, because I'm wearing my sapphire earrings today, and on the card they have, it looks like the exact same earrings, right? It's probably not the exact same earrings, but it's very interesting, needless to say. This card here is from your spirit guides. How I was just talking, really pay attention to those messages you're getting through, if it's from like hearing numbers, feeling, really pay attention to certain signs. This message here says insight, guidance, and purpose. And it also shows an ego, which is a very high advanced spiritual energy, right? Really pay attention to your inner guidance, your inner guru speak. and pay attention to the animals, right? Like for those of you who knew, if you watched, I think it was my last video, I had a very profound message from a magpie. And his message to me was very profound. I didn't go on about the whole message he gave me, but what he told me has happened, and it's very true, very true. So pay attention to the signs, you guys. And if you'd really like to get that confirmation, sometimes we just need those confirmations in life that we're on the right pathway, you know, and get that clarity to give us that peace of mind. You know, you can always book a reading with me, soulworkwithjeni.com, and I can give you my insights into what I see coming up for you in all areas of your life and tell you why you're here, your past life, animal communicator, and so on and so on and so on. So wishing you all a beautiful week, sending love, sending healing, sending courage and willpower for those of you this week who have to say goodbyes. Love and light. And I will catch you all again.